I say, welcome to this video. It's the first video on this channel. That's quite exciting, isn't it? So, I want to start off rather easily on myself. Not too hard, just kinda getting things off the ground, see where this goes. If you're wondering if this is gonna be like what it is on the Fan of Hero channel, I can already say no, it's not. What it is basically me playing games and having fun. Since making shorts, engine rivals, the big four, and all the other stuff I make on the Fan of Hero channel, it can get pretty tiring at some point. So I just need to be able to take my mind off the video, that kind of video production sometimes. And that's what I plan to do here. So to start things off, I thought I just wanted to show you guys my scrap mechanic building world. It is here where I build all my mid-British locomotive trains and all the other trains I built. I've built quite a few. Anyway, here it is. Now, I think first off you saw these tracks are not aligned. These are tiles that I made into this world. In fact, basically every single rails in this world is tiles. But when you run a train over it, it doesn't budge. It's really not a big deal. Yeah, let's go over here. Over here you have the train building yard. Here are 4 tracks, and it's on these that I actually built the locomotives. What you can see here is an Atlantic. It's actually one of my favorite things I've ever done. It's so beautiful, actually. Over here we have a very early 210. That's quite exciting, I think, and I also think it looks quite nice. Also, with these 4 tracks here, or a curve section, to obviously test if the trains can handle curves. With or without success, that depends on the locomotive. Oh, let's take a look at some of the other stuff I have here. Over here we have, an attempt at building a Prussian S3 steam locomotive, Pacific steam locomotive. It's not that it went wrong. It's just I haven't continued with it because it's quite. I tried to do as many details as possible, even with like. Yeah, you can probably see it better from over here. Even with like inside cylinders and such. It does work, it's kind of complicated to build, so I've kind of stopped with it. This is an NSB Class 49. The Class 49s were the biggest steam locomotives to ever operate in Norway. It's incomplete. You can also see, like, I tried to figure out which wheel size fit the build best, and I eventually decided on these. I just haven't changed it on the other side. It's sort of work in progress, but I've kind of gone a little bit away from it. I'll probably finish it up soon. We'll see. Over here. This is an interesting one. One of the very first video in the Mid-British Railway series that I did about the Class 3 shunters, this one right here. One thing I didn't mention, because I hadn't like implemented into the lore of the railway yet, was that during the First World War, 8 of these were rebuilt into duplex locomotives. Why? Well, because it was the First World War, and since it was in wartime, the Mid-British Railway struggled slightly with supplies, so instead of designing completely new goods engines, they built this. I know it does seem a little bit extreme, but I thought it was kind of cool. And beside it, we have this, the newest locomotive that I'm actually building right now. This is a shunter, an 080 shunter. Yeah, it's basically that. And it's taking inspiration from this shunter right here. It's actually not really a shunter, it's actually more of like a branch line, sometimes even mainline tank engine for like pickup goods trains and small passenger trains. Now over here is one of the probably most interesting things I have in this world. This right here is something I call Septor, the singular engine power tester of reason. Basically, it measures the power of a locomotive. So how it works is, well, we'll get out a locomotive to test. And for the occasion, I'll just get out what is probably my favorite locomotive I've ever built. This low boiler, 2 outside cylinder, no valve gear Pacific. I love it so much. Anyway, the way it works, if we can just get into the cab here, is that we approach the buffer beam here, that little plate you see. We don't want to ram it at speed, we just want to be touching it while standing still, like that. And then we hit every single forward motion key we can that makes the locomotive move forward. So in this case it's 1 and 2. Wait till it starts pushing back, like that. We'll move away so it doesn't lag that much. And as you can see here, the locomotive has a power rating of 17 lights. I don't know what it's supposed to mean in like horsepower or what its tractive effort is, but it's the best way for me to compare power with locomotives. And when you want to test a new locomotive, you just hit this lever once and it's reset, ready for another test. Now this right here is one of the most, well, interesting ideas I've had. Basically, in scrap mechanic, locomotives have a tendency to derail. Why? Physics, I guess. What I wanted to try was to see if I could build a locomotive that just was incredibly hard to derail. What you're seeing right here is, well, the current result. The concept is still a work in progress, but this is the best I have right now. It's quite complicated. It's mainly in the bogies, so like we have thrusters that are like pointing it down, so that whenever it and sensors that detects, so like whenever it like slightly jumps off the rails, the thrusters will push it down, keep it on the rails. I also plan to like implement so when it detects the train, like the bogies turning when it's going through a turn, the thrusters will also activate, keeping it more stable in curves. It's definitely the most stable locomotive I have, but it can still derail, so there's still some more work on it to be done. I'll probably do a video on it at some point, if I complete it or when I just give up. We'll see. Now the final thing I have to show is has a funny story behind it. It's over here. So, the story goes that during a holiday, me and my brother played Scrap Mechanic. We decided to have a drag race, and whoever could build the fastest vehicle to get from one end of the track to the other won. This right here is what I constructed. Well, it's not quite what I constructed, but the general shape of it is. Basically, it's a rail rider. It was technically cheating because it was outside, but I still won. I like destroyed his because it was very fast. I spawned it in the other day and discovered that with the wheels, like the two bottom wheels that are turning, it became a hovercraft. Now, this piqued my interest, because since it's a hovercraft, it means that you can go very fast on it, as I'll now demonstrate. So lining it up to the back wall, we activate the hovercraft motion, and zoom. And as you saw, we did 2,100 kilometers. Well, as Jeremy Clarkson put it, speed! Anyway, I think that's more or less it for this building world. It's not really that interesting. I just also kind of wanted to show the stuff I've been building here. I think I'll just wrap this video up. Thanks for watching this new video on this new channel. I plan to upload a little bit, maybe also some shorts, and who knows, I might stream at some point. That is stuff that might be happening. I can't keep any promises at the moment. So yeah, thanks for watching, and do subscribe.